But my mum thought that when I said radio, she thought it was a joke. She was like, you know, she like did like the That's Impossible ones, like doing like the, you think you're gonna get on here? Like, yeah, she'll do those ones. Like, like it was real, like, it was real, like a stab in the heart. Eh? Like, oh man. But like, I just stuck with it. I stuck with it. And like, it was like to the point where my mum would like be like she'll pull jokes like, oh, are you on the radio yet?
Yeah.
Oh, you're still on the street team? Like doing those ones, like a year and a half's gone, like, you know? And I kept telling her, I was like, you know, like trust the process. Like I can do this, don't worry. And then she's like, oh, yeah. Yeah. When my dad's just like, no, you just keep doing you. Like, you know? But and when I got the role, when I actually got first after the Christmas period, my first ever Christmas period, I got the Saturday role for the whole year of 2018.
Cool.
So I got so it was Saturdays with Randy.
Hello and welcome to The Human Now, where we're discussing ideas around what it means to be in this state of time. Our purpose with this podcast is to make positivity louder. My name is Akash, and today I'm joined by Randy.
Kia ora.
How's it going, my man?
Nah, not too bad, bro. A little bit tired, but nah, I'm here, man. Gotta show love to the community of Roskilde.
Yeah, represent. So for those of you who don't know Randy, we actually went to the same school. He was in the same year as Krishma.
Yep.
And Randy's just scored his, would you say it's your dream job?
Yeah, I would definitely say it's my dream job, somewhere I definitely have been trying to get to for ages. So I am very grateful for the opportunity, eh?
Cool, man. Yeah, so Randy's just scored his dream job of being on the radio. What are they like, you're a presenter, but what's the technical term?
Announcer or
hey.
radio jockey.
Yeah. Oh, mean, man. So yeah, Randy's on Mai FM on the late night show.
I've just got the role of the night host, so I'll be doing 7 p.m. to midnight.
Cool, man. And how old are you?
I am only 20 years old.
Unreal. Okay, so before we get into the discussion, which will kind of center around your journey to getting onto the radio, and then also how you've kind of been hustling and grinding away at life to get to where you want to get to, but then also talking about the things you love as well. So before we get into that, we always start our podcast by asking the guests that come on, do you scrunch or fold?
Ooh, that caught me off guard. I'm gonna say fold because I low-key don't know what that means, but fold sounds like nicer. Scrunch sounds like, you know. I'm gonna say fold.
All right, cool. We don't really tell the guests where it comes from.
Yeah,
like you got to kind of think about it. If you think about your daily routine, and there's only one place you'll scrunch or fold, that's all I'm gonna say.
Man, I'm still confused.
Maybe by the time this comes out and you watch it, you'll be like, oh, that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, hopefully, man. Okay. I really hope I picked the right thing, eh?
It changes. It differs between person to person.
Okay. Fingers crossed that a lot of people have chosen fold.
Okay, so let's start the conversation. Let's take it all the way back. Whether this dream or this desire come from for you to want to be on the radio?
Man, like back when I was in high school, this wasn't even like early stages of high school. I would say year 9 to like year maybe 11.
Yep.
This wasn't even like a thought. Like I was like, oh yeah, like I was thinking about like being like a physio or like a professional sports player or something like that. But I always had like and I think your younger sister Krishma can vouch for this. I had like a knack for talking. Like I would just talk all the time. And it wasn't until year 12 when my drama teacher, Emma Gillies, she came out to me and was like, you should do something with
with your voice.
Yeah, with my voice, pretty much. And I was gonna say with talking. And then in my head, I thought, because obviously she was the drama teacher, so I thought she meant like performing arts, like acting and stuff. So like I was in year 12, like maybe late stages of year 12, I was looking at like going into like performing arts schools and stuff like that, because I thought like I was like, oh yeah, I'm pretty good at performing arts. I can pursue this. But it wasn't until she was like, nah, like media. And I was like, media. And in my head, the first thing that came to my head was like behind the camera. Yeah. And I was like, I don't want to be behind a camera. Like, I don't want to
be in front of the
I want to be in
camera.
front of the camera. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like, yeah. And then she was like, nah, like, why don't you try like TV or radio? And then
Yeah.
that's when I was like I didn't even think of it, you know?
Yeah.
And then so I was like, oh, TV, like everyone on TV is good looking. So I'm like, oh, maybe radio. So then I looked at radio and did radio courses and everything like that. And sort of to see where I wanted to like sort of head with it. There was 2 options. So there was to go head down to Christchurch to go down to broadcasting school. But
Right.
I'm very like, I'd rather stay in Auckland. So I was like,
Yeah.
nah, like scratch that.
Is that because family's up here?
Yeah,
and
family's
stuff?
up here. Plus, like, I'd have to move down and live by myself for like 3 years. So I was
Yeah.
like, like not really keen. Like,
Yeah.
it would have been a good experience, but
Mm.
then I think it would have been like a longer journey.
Yeah. Yep.
But anyways, the other option was to go to AUT and then study communication. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll do that. And plus, my mom especially was really big on me going to university anyway. So I was like, all right, cool, I'll just do that. Then I went to uni. I did a foundation course, so
Yeah.
just a certificate in communications, and that's where I really found like my knack for like radio, because obviously I was studying it, so I had the radio on in my car.
Yeah.
So I was like sort of like listening to these guys while studying it at uni. I didn't really care about like anything else but radio in uni, because when you do a communications course, the first year is always real general. I think it's like any other subject.
Yeah.
But like there was like TV, like journalism, and I was just like turned off in that class. But when it came to radio, I was like, nah, I wanna like this is what I want to do. Like I just got this ambition and drive to like do it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I did that, and while I was doing that, I was working my first job at Foot Locker, St. Luke's.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember seeing you in the
So
store.
I was working at
Yeah.
Foot Locker St. Luke's, and it's actually a really small world, because the person, my 2IC at the time, Dino Collins, his girlfriend worked for MediaWorks.
Right.
And
Okay.
so while how you have like when it's dead in the store and you have your classic yarn with your workmate about life and everything like that, he was asking me like what I want to be and stuff. I told him I want to eventually get on the radio one day. Little did I know that his actual missus was on, like she was a part of MediaWorks, and he told her, and she said, "Oh, perfect, because Mai FM's looking for street team workers."
Oh man.
So immediately I was like, "Yeah, please!" Like I'll hand him my CV. Like, can I get on the street team? Like, any foot in the door is a good good opportunity. So ever since that day, like I had like an interview like 2 days later, got the job, and then that's when I started working on the street team. So I was on the street team, and if you don't know what street team is, it's like promo work, driving the car around, giving out free stuff, being at events. Pardon me.
Oh, good man.
And like I was doing that for maybe a good solid 2 years.
Yep.
And then that's sort of where my drive for radio got even bigger, because I was when you're on the street team and you were doing it as much as I was always around.
Yeah.
So I was like in the studio at least 3 to 4 times a week on a good week.
Yeah.
Got to meet everyone, got to meet the announcers, got to even like see like what they did and like how everything works and everything like that. And plus the night host at the time, Brooke Roscoe, he was on the street team also for a little bit. And so I sort of got like, I guess, somewhat close to him. So I just asked him one day, like, hey, is it all good if I just sit with you in studio and just watch you, just like watch so I can learn? And I was doing that. I did that for maybe 3-4 months, just sitting in studio. And it got to a point where it was leading up to Christmas time. He was like, yo, like, just, I'm going to check you in Studio B. I'm going to tell you what to say, how to say it, and how to press the buttons. And I just practice, bro. And I was like, sweet, all good. So I was maybe watching him for maybe like 2 months. And then for the like last 2 months, I was practicing in Studio B almost every night. Just like practicing. It's my the hottest hip hop and R&B. It's like saying all this stuff, playing with beds, like with music in the background, everything, like just playing with everything, to the point where Brooke was like, yo, do you know Kitty as well? So the Brooke and Kitty, they used to do the Saturday show. So they were like, yo, like, what do you want to do? Like, what do you want to do with mine? I was like, I hopefully want to be an announcer. Obviously in my head, I was like, that's very far-fetched. Like it's still so far away. And then they're like, why don't you just ask Phil, DJ Severe, who was our content director at the time, for a job, like a Christmas role? Because everyone at Christmas time goes away.
Yeah. So they need someone in the studio.
So they need people in the studio. And so I did it. I said, yes. They gave me an interview. They air checked me. Air checking is the worst process.
So can you just explain what air checking is?
So you're in the room and you do a voice break with DJ Severe right there. And like the studio is not the biggest room.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even look at you. Like what he does is like he'll say go, or he'll play it. He'll play you. So you record the voice break, you'll play it out, but he's not even looking at you.
Can you give an example of the voice break as well?
So it'll be like, it's Mai the hottest hip hop and R&B. That was Drake. Nice for what? You got me, Randy, hanging out with you for your Saturday. Coming up next is Chris Brown and Gunna Heat.
Yeah.
And then it'll be something like that.
Yeah.
And then I'll play it out. And DJ Seville, what he does with his ear checks, it's not like anyone else. Like he will, so say this is the wall here.
Yeah.
His head and nose are at the wall, looking at the wall for the whole voice break. So like that was like the most tense 20 seconds of my life. Just like my palms are sweating, like, and then he says stop. He looks around and he just like pauses for ages, like just like, and then he starts talking. He gives you your critical feedback or whatever you need. But then he was like, nah, like after like maybe 3 or 4 times, he was like, nah, it's all good. We'll train you up, keep getting you in so that we can get you for the Christmas shifts. Yeah. And then that's when like, I was like, oh snap! Like I like somewhat got like at least this is experience, you know. Like I was like, I'm gonna take it by the hands. I really put in work. Like I was, because like now that I'm in radio, I'll you know sometimes leave early or you know just because you're a little bit comfortable. But when I was in there, I was there an hour before, left an hour later, like. Just because I was like, nah, like I want to
absorb it, right?
Yeah, so like even when I was finished, I would just jump in Studio B and just like keep practicing. Like I was really about it.
So can you explain what Studio A and Studio B is?
So Studio A is like the main studio. So like where all the shows go live and everything like that. Studio B is where people can like sort of pre-record or like where the producers sit.
Right.
It's just like an extra studio pretty much, like just if you need it.
Yep. So you were saying while Brooke was live on air, you'd be practicing in Studio B.
Yeah, and I was there from maybe 7 till midnight. I would stay with him because what I would do is I would practice from 7 till 10.
Yep.
And then watch him do live calls, like pick up phone calls from 10 till 12 because that's like total request where people can call in and sort of just like pick a song.
Yep.
And so I'd watch him do that and like I was just all about like learning and trying to take it all in. But that's sort of where my drive was. As soon as I got the we're gonna chuck you on air. It was like as it is now, I'm still like a little bit overwhelmed, but I was like, man, like this is like my one shot and one shot only because everyone's away. So as soon as they come back and they hear that I'm doing like mud, they're gonna be like, piss off, you know what I mean? But it was all good news from there. So
mean. And so what did your parents say? Oh no, actually before we even get there, because you said that you took over the show, right? During Christmas. What was it like first time going live?
For Christmas, like, because I was so new, they told me not to go live. And because I didn't want to bots it or anything like that. Yeah. Like, I wasn't going live, but my voice breaks were real, like, it's my hottest hip hop and R&B, like real fast. I was just like, I was real nervous. Man, like, it was just like, I was like, for the first couple of weeks, I was man, should I really be doing this? Like, because I was like, it really took a toll, like mentally, because you're by yourself in there. Yep. And because it's sort of hard because everyone's gone for Christmas, so there's no help whatsoever. Yep. So you're just like sitting in there. It's my hottest hip hop and R&B, like mucking up all the time to the point where like I would like almost get to the verge of having to go live without knowing how to go live. Like, man, it was like real painful. Like it was like real painful. But then obviously, just like anything else, just learning how to kick a ball, ride a bike, like. You're gonna pick, you're gonna have to
make the mistakes.
Yeah. You learn from it and everything like that. And then I was getting like maybe texts and calls from Brooke occasionally, like saying like, "Yo, bro, just slow down, just slow down, relax." Like, and because Christmas shifts are like chill. Yeah. Because if you think about it, during the summertime or like even during a weekend show, no one wants to hear you talk. Yeah. Because they're just like, man, I just want to listen to music. Yeah. So I was, if you think about it from then, like me mucking up like a 10-second, 15-second break to having to talk now. Like where it's like 1.5 minutes. Yeah. It's like, man, it's like a big jump. Like, you know, like, so I was mucking up maybe 10, 15 seconds. Like I couldn't even say it's the hottest hip hop and R&B without mucking it up like 5 times. So like far out. It was my first time on air was not an easy one. I'm not going to lie. Yeah.
And so like while trying to score your job at Mai, you were also working elsewhere, like you said, Foot Locker and stuff. So how'd you manage that, and what was that like? I think when I was working at Foot Locker, it was a little bit easier. Yeah. Because like I was only part-time at Foot Locker, and plus like I was working there prior, like 2 years prior. So like I was almost like one of the like senior staff. So in terms of like getting out of work and stuff, it was sort of easier for me. Yep.
Balancing two jobs back then was way easier as well because I was younger. Like I wasn't gonna go to sleep until like 2 a.m. regardless of if I had jobs or not. So, yeah, like it was easy for me. Plus, like I told my manager at the time about like where I want to be with Mai FM anyway. So,
Cool.
he/she, because it was two managers, they sort of just bounced back and forth. They sort of understood like, oh yeah, Rand. Like I told them like I don't want to be a Foot Locker forever, you know.
Yeah. Could be a referee your whole life.
Yeah. I didn't want to be there forever, man. Like 3 years was enough. So, I just told them like, yeah, like I'm gonna leave soon, and like, they understood that Mai was mentally my priority.
Yep.
So like they were pretty sweet with it.
Yeah. And then do you want to talk about like what it was like when you moved to your new job?
Yeah.
And where you're at, and then just how you're talking about it before, like you'd go and record your track, go to work, and
yeah.
Like, how do you balance all of that?
So right now,
because you're working two jobs, right?
Yeah, I work.
Yeah.
So I still working
jobs.
two jobs. I work at Loaded High Street.
Yeah.
And the Auckland CBD. And yeah, man, because like I'm doing the Christmas shifts again. So if you hear me 5 till 10 on my the hottest hip hop and jokes.
Do you ever get tired of saying that?
Yeah, it's like to the point where it's like second nature, man. Like,
hi, my name is Randy, and then boom.
have to like switch it up all the time. But yeah, like this one was a little bit more tough. A little bit older. Like, you know, when you're in high school, you're like, man, I just want to be young forever, you know? Like I'm starting to feel it. But like, yeah, this one was a little bit harder because I'm doing the night shifts for Mai at the moment for Christmas, but I start at 5 p.m. And then with Loaded, we don't close until like 6:37.
Yeah.
And because Christmas hours, sometimes we have late night
Extended, right?
So what I'll have to do is I'd have to wake up early in the morning, go to Mai, pre-record however much I would need to pre-record for that day, finish up at Loaded, Uber from Loaded to Ponsonby, to Mai, and then get straight back into it. So I was doing almost like, I am still doing it, like almost like 12, 13, 14-hour days. And I was just, as I was saying before, like there was times when I'll be so tired, get home, and like I'll be asleep with my shoes on. Like I would like just wake up and be like, man, I still had my shoes on, like still clothed from last night, jump in the shower next morning. Yeah. But
gotta keep it fresh.
Yeah. But I was like, my body like is and like was like like drained, man. Like it's like I didn't get a proper break. But like obviously like as like everything is, it's a grind. Yeah. Like, you want to sort of prove to people that like you got a work ethic. I don't want to like ever seem like I was lazy. Like I would always like as soon as, even if I was tired or like vice versa, like my Loaded, whatever job I had to work, I would never put on a tired face. Like I would always wait until I got home or away from work to actually like just like, you know, sleep it off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think for me it's just like work ethic's a big thing. Like
where does that come from for you?
For me, I think like a lot of it came from sports. Yeah. Because you see a lot of people like, because you guys are both sportsmen. Yeah. Like you see it a lot in sports. Like obviously like there's a lot of what if people. Yeah. Like, so like, for example, like there might be like a superstar hockey player or like a superstar basketball player, rugby player or whatever that has all this potential, but has no work ethic. So like when you see them, like you see them on the field, like when you're younger, it's easy, you know, to stand out. Cause like when you're younger, you don't train as much, but as soon as you get older, like you sort of plateau because everyone's sort of working their asses off. If I can say that. Like, and then they're sort of like, oh man, like, you know, they become a what if because they see everyone sort of skyrocketing, they're staying in the same place. They're like, nah, I'm just going to give up. But if you just like mentally had a work ethic, like, you know, you could have been like 10 times the better player you like could have been, you know? Yep. And I think that's where like my work ethic sort of came from, because I know like a lot of people that like could have been like superstar athletes from high school. And like we come from Ross School, and Ross School is not a place where like sport is like, you know, significant, you know? But like there was a lot of people, like maybe one of people that, you know, you'd be like, man, like he could have cracked it. He could have cracked it. Yep. But they just didn't have that drive. And I think it was, but like in saying that, I think it's sort of hard coming out from a school like Ross School. Because obviously if you go to a school like, I don't know, let's say like a Auckland Boys or like a Dio or something like that. Yeah. It's sort of easier to stay motivated because everyone there is like, you know, like they're paying good money to go to a good school.
Yep.
They got a good education. Plus, they got all the facilities and everything like that. Where Ross School is like a walk down the road from nearly everyone's house here. Like there's lunch bars literally everywhere.
Yeah.
You go to a school where like wagging's normal. Like I think it's easy to get sidetracked and like get and influenced
100%
at a school like that. And there's no disrespect to Ross School whatsoever. I was up hard, but it's easy to get sidetracked. So like I think with me mentally, I was just like, nah, like I need to keep a work ethic and everything I did.
I think also in saying that, like the way you're talking about Ross School as well, is when you're in a place like that, the hunger and the drive to be that better, or like, yeah, I don't have to go to like a private school, or I don't have to go to that school.
Yeah.
We can still be.
Yeah, like it's,
you know?
yeah, it's definitely like, yeah, like it's very
Like,
stereotyped, I guess.
Yeah.
Like like a lot of people think, like, I think, like from Ross School, like where there's a lot of brown families, a lot of like, you know, like families that don't earn much and everything like that. Go to like a decile 3 school, like a decile 3 school. Like obviously, like like most of their highlights are just getting to school, you know.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, like I think it's like a work ethic type thing. Plus, I was gonna say something. Damn. We'll skip that. But like, yeah, a lot of it. I think what motivated me the most was seeing so many people like, just not have that like that extra, you know, extra gas to go. Yeah,
you don't want to be like that.
Yeah, I just didn't want to be like that.
Cool. And so if we do just stay where we are in Ross School, you're pretty good at basketball, man.
Oh, yeah.
Christmas mentioned you played in the rep teams.
Yeah.
So how did you decide from going choosing between basketball and like, you know, you could have made it.
Oh,
yeah, nah.
I think like so with
so if you're saying you had the work ethic, right?
Yeah.
Do you think you could have made it in basketball? Or,
I think it's.
So what was your thinking behind choosing what you wanted to do?
I don't think I'd ever like have because like I think sport in general is so big.
Yep.
Sport in general is so big. So there's going to be like, it's not just Auckland. Yep. There's talent from like down the line, down like South Island, people from overseas come over. So I don't ever think that I would have went like professional or anything like that. Like representative basketball was probably the peak for me. Yep. If I'm being completely honest, it was like the peak for me. And like, I loved it. Like, cause you know, that's like solid competition, like your best from your regions playing your, you know, but like, it's like not everyone's gonna make the breakers, you know what I mean? Otherwise they would have like a 10,000 man squad, like you know, like it's like the best of the best. So, like for me, especially like after maybe under 19s, I started getting a little less serious for me because obviously like there's like a system, just like everything, like just like New Zealand sport, there's a system. If you're not in the system from an early age, or if you don't have the potential to be in that system at a later age, you're obviously like, you know, like it's gonna get harder as you get, and we're not getting younger, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so it's sort of hard to keep that same, like, you know, like want to play basketball when like you're consistently not making like the better teams, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like for me, I would always like make the representative A teams and everything like that. But I wouldn't like never like make the New Zealand camps or anything like that, which I was happy with. Like I wasn't like, oh man, like, you know, I'm better than those guys or whatever. Cause obviously everyone's selected for a reason, you know? Just like everything else. But yeah, for me, like it was an easy decision to like not continue playing. I still play serious now, but like not like.
You got to kind of know like where that level is.
I think it's like a realism thing. Like, you know, like a lot of people are like, they can be like 25, and this is no disrespect to anyone watching this, like saying like, I still have that dream. Like good for you. But like, there's like a certain like point where you got to realize like, man, maybe this is not meant for me.
Yeah, 100%.
Like there might be something better for you, and you could like be like, you know, moving forward a little bit faster. Like, you know.
Yep. Is the thing still recording? Oh yeah, cool. Just all right, we're good. I just gotta make sure, man. And so you moving into and landing your spot at Mai. Did you want to walk us through what your parents first thought about you going on to radio? And then what was it like when you told them then you made it, you got your spot on the radio? Man, so when I first, because obviously like typical Asian parent, my mom wanted me to be either one of 3 things: a lawyer, a doctor, or like a dentist or something like that. Like just something that like with money. And man, like I was not like I was gonna say the schooliest. I was not the most like
academic driven person. Like I was never like even in high school, like I was like, yo, achieved is like me. Like if I pass with achieve, I'm happy.
Yep.
But I did that first year of uni just because like my mom. If I had to not go to uni, I wouldn't have gone. Now I'm 9K in debt. Like
because you've gone
because I've gone to uni. No, but like when, like my mom, especially my mom, my dad has always been like the real like you do you as long as you're happy, you do you. But it's always been my mom. My mom, and I think it's a good way because she wants me to be. I think my mom. It's not in a way where she thinks that like other things are better than others. I think she just wants me to be successful. Yeah. Just like any parent would want their kid to be.
For sure.
But my mom thought that when I said radio, she thought it was a joke. She was like, you know, she like did like that's impossible ones, like doing like you think you're gonna get on here? Like, yeah, she'll do those ones. Like, like it was real like, it was real like a stab in the heart. Like, oh man. But like, I just stuck with it. I stuck with it. And like it was like to the point where my mum would like be like she'll pull jokes like, oh, are you on the radio yet?
Yeah.
Oh, you're still on the street team, like doing those ones, like a year and a half's gone, like, you know. And I kept telling her, I was like, you know, like trust the process, like I can do this, don't worry. And then she's like, oh yeah. When my dad's just like, no, you just keep doing you, like, you know. But and when I got the role, when I actually got first after the Christmas period, my first ever Christmas period, I got the Saturday role for the whole year of 2018.
Cool.
So I got so it was Saturdays with Randy. And then I got that role, and then my mom was sort of like, oh, snap. Like, you're actually on the radio. Pardon me. You're actually on the radio consistently, like every weekend. Yep. So she was like,
this is like a job.
Yeah, this is like a job. Like I'm earning from this. Like, you know, like like people hear me on the radio. Yeah. Like it's like a start. And so my mom was sort of like, oh, snap. But she would still like have like, it was like more negativity. It was like maybe like 70 negativity, still 30 like positivity. So she would still be like, but it's only one day a week. Like, you know, like doing those ones. Yeah. And then when I started covering the night show on a consistent basis. So there was like times where Brooke would go on holiday or something like that, and then I'd be covering him straight for 2 months. Yeah. My mom would be like, oh, snap. Like, I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm doing the night show tonight from 4 to 12, Sunday to Thursday, every week for the next 2 months. She's like, oh, snap. Like,
this is proper.
This is like actually happening. Like, and then I went from negativity to like, he's not going to make it, to like, when are you going to move up? Like, she was asking me questions like that. Like, when are you going to, so what's the next step for you, like in radio? So it started getting real serious. And that's always been our conversation until I finally got my contract, when they pulled me aside and said, hey, Randy, we want you to take the night show. I got home, handed my mom a contract. I was like, read this. She read it, and then I just got the biggest hug. Like, man, like it was overwhelming. I was like, because obviously, like, I think as a kid, like, you want to make your parents proud. Like, that's like the one goal that everyone wants to tick off, is make their parents proud. Yep. So when I just saw my mom's face, like, it's like her face just dropped. Like, she was like, and it's like a genuine, like, it was genuine happiness. Yep. Like, she was like, man, like, my son actually is putting in the work. Like just the expression on her face was just like priceless, man. And then my dad just like, you know, simple. Just, yeah. All the emotion from my mom, my dad's like, oh yeah, good job, son.
And so what is the end goal with you in radio? Is it in radio?
Yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah,
I'm trying to, so obviously, like, this is a start. I don't want to think too broadly, but obviously, like, my end goal would try to be get as high up as possible with so no matter how long it takes. So the highest would be morning crew. Yeah. But I always say to myself, like, as much as I want to get there, it's not like I'm in a rush. Yeah. Because I'm still fairly young compared to like a lot of the announcers and stuff. Yeah. So I do have a lot of time. So I just gotta, like, as I've been doing already, just, you know, put in the grind, stick with it, like, you know, trust the process pretty much, man. And then like the goods will come after, pretty much. Yeah, that's the end goal for me.
Would you ever want to go overseas and be an announcer?
It's actually crazy. Like, New Zealand, I think New Zealand and like the States are like two of the biggest like radio, like where people actually listen, or people actually listen to the radio. Like, if you go to Australia, like, it's not as big. Yeah. As like when you come here, people like know, like, oh yeah, the morning crew, Nixon, Nate and Tegan. Like, they know Fame from the home run. Like your name's actually known. Whereas like when you like and even over in the States, like, you know, you got like Charlamagne the God, Joe Budden, like all of these people who are like on radio, like you know them, they're like celebrities. Whereas if you go over to like Australia or something like that, it's not so much radio, it's more so like TV.
Yeah.
I think like, so I think I would want to go overseas, but I think New Zealand's pretty good where it is, man. Like, yeah.
Oh, mean. And so for you, where did this is also kind of stepping back a bit. Like, when did you first start listening to Mai FM?
Man, it's actually like, because my first ever car didn't have an aux cord, and it was a Japanese model, and Japanese models don't go higher than, I think, like 92 point something.
So they only play
So the only thing that I could listen to was 88.6.
Yeah.
So I've been listening to Mai for the longest time. Plus, I'm a big hip hop and R&B fan anyways. So like, regardless if like, it was either going to be Mai FM or Flavor. Like, I would, like, you know, like that's because that's the music I listen to. But yeah, I've been listening to Mai for ages. Like without even knowing it, like I was like, oh yeah, like Nix and Nate, and like back when it was like Nix and Nate and Lily, like back then, like, you know, I was like I used to see like all the posters everywhere, but it would just be so oblivious, like, you know, I'd just be like, oh yeah, that's Mai FM, like, you know. Now actually like working for it, I was like, oh man, like it's so different now.
Yeah. Which is why it resonates so much with us and our family, is because when we were younger, we'd always listen to Mai FM as well. Like there used to be a bit of like an ad break or something when because it always used to be Auckland's hottest music, Mai.
Yeah.
And then before they said that, there used to be like a, you know, in Michael Jackson's Black or White.
Oh, like 88.6, there's that one?
I think so. I think so. And then there's that, and then 88.6. So we used to listen to back in that time. And then even in the mornings, we'd call up for like birthday calls.
Yeah.
They used to do that on the breakfast show. And I think it was B-Rocker.
Man,
the name of the guy.
That's taking it way back, yeah.
You know, so
funny story. Your sister Talisha, she's won tickets too many times. She needs to stop calling in. She's Mai FM hard. Like she calls in every competition. She's like, yo, like, boop, boop. Yo, to Mai, who's this? Hey, it's Talisha Kumar. Oh man.
Oh, we'll let her know.
Yeah, hard out.
And so getting back into it, how did you ever feel like, because you talked about working, going and recording in the morning, going to Loaded to work, and then coming back to Mai to work. So did you ever feel like quitting? And what did you do to get through those nights where you just didn't want to be doing it?
Man, I don't ever think I got to a point where I wanted to quit, but there was times where I was like, man, I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
Like, because obviously it's where I want to be. So like, I don't think my mindset would ever be, I want to quit.
Cool.
But like, I'm not going to lie, there are definitely times where I'd be like, flip, like, I'd rather not be here right now.
Yep.
Like, I'd rather just like go home and like sleep or hang out with my friends. Cause obviously I do the night show. So, and because I work during the day, the only time I can really hang out with my friend. Yeah. My social life's nighttime. So, it is tough. But like, I think because I'm like fairly fresh, I guess, cause I'm like a brand new announcer. Like I have to like, you know, keep up that work ethic.
Go do the work.
Goes back to work ethic, man. Like I just have to, like, the good things will come with it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like if I start slacking off now when like the proper show hasn't even started yet, like I'm probably just going to slack off. Like,
and that's your rep, your image, your identity.
Yeah, exactly, man. Like I don't want to be like, and then plus I want to like, you know, stay in the good books with everyone at Mai as well. Like, you know, like I want to show them that I can work hard when they want me to work hard. Like, like when they want me to do something, I'll do it. Like I can just be like oh yeah, Randy will do it. Like, cause they're like, I'm reliable.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I don't even think I got to a stage where I wanted to quit, but like there was times where I was like, I don't want to be here. I just pushed through. Like, I just think bigger picture.
Yep.
Like, oh, like the good things will come. Don't worry.
Yep. And what do you think's been the hardest part of your journey so far?
Hardest part of my journey. Man, that's a good question. Probably hours. Probably the hours. Having to manage social life, family, sport. Yep. With working 2 jobs.
So do you still play basketball for a team or a club? Or?
So like every year there's like so I play under 23s.
Cool.
I play for counties hard. But like when it comes to that, because I do the night show and because I was covering the night show, I had to skip out on practices and everything like that. And obviously like, because I still like to play competitively and everything like that. Plus I paid the fees already. So I was like, I had to balance it. Like, yeah, it was real tough. Like hours. Like not having to see the boys like for ages. Like having to like when I see like on the group chat like, yo, let's go here. I'm like, oh, sorry, I can't make it. Like there was like maybe a solid like 2-3 month span where I just didn't see anyone, like because I was just like so focused on on trying to get this, trying to get this job. So it definitely paid off, and I definitely hang out with the boys hard out now. But it's cool having I think it's cool having a cool support group like that, like both family and friends. Like they understand, like they understand, like they understand that like I'm doing it to better, like to move up. Yeah, I'm not just doing it because I'm trying to ditch them or whatever. Like so like I have a very good support group, and that sort of helps me get through.
Yep. Yeah. Before we move on to the next couple of questions, is there anything else that you want to talk about in terms of your journey and?
Oh man, like I'm just very grateful that it's happened, because in my head when I first got the role, or when I first like got into I didn't think that it would happen this quickly.
Yeah.
Obviously because radio is like a very fast process when it happens. Is what Nixon told me. Pardon me. Very fast process when the movements happen. Yeah. But it's a very slow process in the waiting. Like it's a slow waiting process. Plus, it's like before I got into Mai, got to meet everyone like that, I thought it was like you had to audition type thing.
Yeah.
Like you had to audition. So I was like, man, there's gonna be so many people that want this job. Like I really have to. That's like what pushed me even more. Like I really have to stick with it. But yeah, I just didn't think it would happen so quickly, man. Like as I said, I'm only 20 years old. Like I turned 21 this year.
Yeah.
So like for it to happen so quickly at such a young age, like I'm definitely grateful, man. Plus, as I said before, like just to touch on friends and family, like everyone's been super duper supportive, man. Like just like always like had my back. The occasional like, oh, any free tickets, but like, like they've definitely had my back, especially like shout out to like my best friends, man. Like they've always been like, yo, like we're happy for you. It's never been like why aren't you hanging out with us?
Yep.
So like in my journey, like I've just I've affiliated myself with the best people.
Cool.
That I can think of.
Yeah.
Because like they're not trying to bring me down or they only want to see the best, and because it's like I want to see everybody eat, you know what I mean? Like as much as I'm doing well, I want to see everyone else doing well. So I think we've sort of just been like that as a friend group, just like, like if you got to do work, like you do work, you push yourself to the limit. So that's my journey I would like, to be honest with my journey, it's not like your typical, I started like real, like, from the streets. Like, I think that's what a lot of people would expect from like a story like this. Like
the most stories we hear, right?
Yeah. Like, your typical, like I didn't have anything when I was younger. I wasn't like I think I was quite a spoiled child, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So like, my upbringing was quite cool as well. Like I didn't have like any like issue with schooling or anything like that. But yeah, like, so it's not your typical like sympathy story.
Yeah.
My story is just, I think my story is just like I put in the work type thing.
Yep.
And like, it definitely goes to show that your hard work does pay off if you, push yourself to the limit, like do the extra hours that you don't want to do. And just like grind your ass off pretty much.
Yeah. And I see you've got some pretty swaggy sneakers on, man.
Here you go. Big Karishma told you about this one, eh?
Yeah, every time we walk into Foot Locker, she's like, oh, Randy's got this one. Oh, he just uploaded this one. Oh, I see this one. Randy likes those ones too. I remember that one. So tell us about your sneaker collection. What is it? How big is it? And what do you love about sneakers the most? And where did this love for sneakers come from?
I wouldn't say like, I know a lot of people with way bigger collections
like
than me.
Sneakerheads, right?
Yeah, like sneakerhead. I wouldn't say I'm a proper sneakerhead, like, because that's a big statement. Yeah. Like I know a lot of people out there that'll be like, hey, this guy's sneakerhead. What? Like, so I wouldn't class myself as a sneakerhead.
Yeah.
But I do love my shoes. I do love my shoes. Like I'd rather spend $200 on shoes than put $20 gas in my car. Like, like that's how bad it got. Like, I think my love for sneakers came in high school. Yeah. When it was like, like you obviously like everyone wants something that you can't have. Yeah. So like when like celebrities would have shoes on, or like when the newest shoe would come out, obviously me being a year 9, no income, me just scamming off my mum, like I wouldn't like, I couldn't have like all of that. But then like, years of crying to my mum, like in the mall, like, I gotta have it, like, please. Like, like even doing the lying ones, like, I don't even have running shoes, like, and they're not even running shoes, like doing those lies. And it's like, oh, okay, like just buying it. Or being like, man, this is gonna sell out. Like, we need to get it right now. Or like, far, like, it got that bad, bro. Like, I would actually cry in store. Like, that my love for, and then I was like, I got to the point where like, I would just be like, I couldn't have like just one colorway of something. So like, do you know the Vans Authentics? Like what everyone used to have, like back in the jerking days or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I first got the red colorway, and then I was like, man, I gotta get the blue colorway. And then I ended up with like 7 different colorways. And Karishma even knows, like I ended up with like so many colors. And this was like in year 9. Like I had like all the colorways, and that's when my love for it like sort of like sparked up. And then because I would say like I'm a big Nike fan. Like I love my Nike shoes.
Cool.
And so when I started working at Foot Locker, obviously didn't help. Like it didn't help the addiction. So so I was working in a shoe store, plus I get like a good discount on shoes.
Yeah.
I was just like, every pay, like I was like, oh yep. Like even to the point where like my mum had to chuck like a lock on my savings, so I could only put money in and not take money out. Because I would like say like I got paid $500, I'll put $300 in my savings, have $200 to spend.
Yeah,
and then I'll just end up taking that $300 out because I'll just buy it on a pair of shoes. Like oh man, like far out. And I'd say my somewhat sneaker collection now is like 80, close to 90 pairs of shoes.
Where do you store all this?
It's in my bedroom. Like, yeah, it's in my bedroom.
Have you got it like on a display, or are they in boxes?
So they're all in boxes, and somewhat of a display now. Like when I first got it, I was like, yeah, this goes here. But now I'm just like, chuck it. But like, yeah, there's like about 80 to 90 shoe boxes in my room. Yeah.
And do you just like sit there some days and just open them up and look at them? Or?
Yeah, bro. There's days where like I used to have like in my head like a rotation, because obviously there's 7 days in the week, right? And then I've got so many shoes. So like I used to like put 7 shoes. I used to put 7 shoes out and wear that for the week, like Monday, Tuesday, or Sunday or whatever.
And then tuck it away.
And then tuck it away, and then I would know like not to touch these shoes because I wore them last week. So then I'll chuck another 7 out. Like, but now because I'm like a little bit lazy with it, I just sort of just wear what's out. Yeah. And then I even forget sometimes I have shoes like in my house. Yeah.
Do you feel like that's an addiction, or is it more just like love, passion, or like are you okay with that, or do you feel like you've got something wrong with you?
Nah, like I feel like I'm okay with it. I used to be really bad. Me and my best friend, Tyler, like we got to a point where we were just collecting shoes for like no reason whatsoever. Like we were just buying it.
No brains, right?
Yeah, just the sake of buying it for the sake of buying it. Oh, it's $90. Oh, sweet. You know? But now I would say it's a good addiction, because it could have been anything else, you know?
Yeah.
I'd rather be addicted to shoes than addicted to drugs or addicted to alcohol, or like, you know? So like, yeah, it's an expensive hobby, but like it could have been worse, you know? Like at least I'm addicted to something that I'm like, you know, doesn't affect anyone or myself, at least. Apart from my bank account.
But also, like, what are you going to do with all that money just stacked up and saved in there sometimes as well? You know, you got to do what you enjoy. You got to do what you love.
Yeah, oh man. And I love shoes to a T. I still buy shoes almost every week.
DJ Severe's got a mean collection too.
Like, see, that's what I mean. Like when I say that sneakerhead is a big statement, I can't say that because someone like him, he is a sneakerhead. Like, like he'll buy 4 or 5 pairs of the same shoe. Yeah. Just to have in stock. Like, I don't do that. Like, that's like, you know, compulsive buying. Like, but he can do that. He can do that. Like, and because he loves sneakers to a T, like I know people that will like tell you the backstory of everything. Like, the shoe was released in 1985.
He's one of those?
Yeah, he's one of those. He's one of those people, bro. And because he's very heavy basketball as well. Like, he loves his basketball. Yeah. So, and obviously he grew up and he watched the Jordan era. So, bro, his Jordan collection is insane.
I heard it's one of the best, right?
I would like to see anyone try top his Jordan collection. Yeah. Like, it's insane.
Have you seen his collection?
I haven't seen the collection properly. Yeah. But I've seen snippets of it. Like, he'll show me photos and like, you know, rub it in my face or whatsoever. Yeah. But he's like, man, he's sneakerhead. Him and his group, his Pack Heat group, sneakerheads.
Oh, man.
I wouldn't class myself as a sneakerhead, never.
Would you ever want to be a sneakerhead?
I guess like everyone's a sneakerhead in their way, in their own way. But
like, you know what I mean? Like a legit, like you got like, some respect for.
Yeah. I don't think I would have the time for that, to be honest. Yeah. Because there's a lot of having to go out and find shoes and like, I'm sort of just like buy it from the store. Cool. Buy it online. Yeah. Like if I can find it. I will never like go out of my way to like find one pair of shoes. Like, do you guys know PJ Tucker, NBA player? Like, he has like one of the biggest sneaker collections I've ever seen, and that's insane. Yeah. Like, he'll play basketball, like a full NBA game of basketball in like the Red October Yeezys. Like, you know, like, and people glass that stuff up, like, you know, like, cause it's like a grail. Like, he's playing basketball in it. Like, yeah, cause he's got so many pairs of shoes. Like, that's insane. Yeah. But like, I don't think I would ever like be a sneakerhead, but I'll always have love for shoes. Like, no matter what. Yeah. Like, love for shoes, streetwear culture, clothes, everything. Yeah. Like, I'd have a big love for it. Like, I think like a lot of it nowadays, like especially streetwear culture and shoes, it goes to show a lot about like someone's personality.
Yeah, identity, right?
Yeah, identity.
Yeah.
So like obviously the way you dress is the way like you're like sort of, how you would carry yourself outside. So that's why I always try to wear like, vibrant colors or whatever, try to spread positivity as what Human Now is trying to do with this podcast.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, mean. And so like the way we like to end all our podcasts is just with our 2 final questions. So yeah, to you, Randy, what does it mean to be human?
What does it mean to be human? I feel like in our day and age, in our society, a lot of people struggle to be themselves. So I think like a lot of people try be fugazi and try to be someone they're not. And you see it more often than not nowadays, like walking around, like you can notice it.
Yep.
Like just by the way people talk to you and everything like that. So you can notice when someone's not being themselves. So I feel like for me, what it means to be human is just being who you were meant to be.
Yeah.
And not trying to be anyone else.
Cool.
Try doing it your way instead of trying to go left, right, up, down, and be like, try to bounce off everyone else when you can just do it yourself. So I feel like being yourself, doing it your way is what it means to be human.
Cool, man. And what does it mean to be now?
What it means to be now, and I was thinking about this the whole show as well. I think what it means to be now is to not dwell in the past or not think too far ahead in the future, but to sort of grind out and like live in the present. Obviously, like things in the past and just like anyone, things in the past, like stuff that will like happen because of things that you're doing now will affect like your decision. Because I think everyone's an overthinker anyways.
Yeah.
Like there's no one that will not overthink something.
Yep. So now natural.
Yeah. Like because
right?
you're gonna like you're gonna be like, oh, what if I did this? What if I did this? What if I do this? So I think what it means to be now is just to sort of appreciate what you have, friends, family, jobs, shoes, whatever you have now. Just appreciate what you have, and then sort of don't go backwards, but just baby steps forwards. Like, don't rush like into anything too quickly. Just like sort of appreciate what you have now.
Cool, man. And was there anything else that you wanted to say?
Just thank you for having me. Like,
yeah, man.
Like it's good to be a part of something which is obviously Ross School based. Love doing it for the community. But also like I've known Karishma, for your younger sister, for ages, like since year 7. So like you guys are like almost like family. Like I know your mom and I know your parents and stuff like that. So it's cool to see like my friends doing something cool for the community as well, which I'll definitely support 100%. I got to get one of these Human Now hoodies too.
Oh yeah, represent.
Thank you guys so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Well, good, man. No, thank you so much for coming on. Like it means so much to us. And like we're right behind you, man.
Thank you so much.
Like Mai FM is part of our family and who we are, and we've grown up with it. And so to see someone from Ross School repping a community, that like you said, it makes us feel proud because that's our community, man. That's our family.
Right.
So yeah, man, thank you so much for
appreciate your time
coming along, man. And yeah, thank you so much for sharing. And you actually really do speak very well.
Oh, cheers. Thank you.
like your flow and delivery, man.
Oh, appreciate it, man. Thank you.
And so where can people find you as well?
So you can find me. I'm mainly on Instagram. Just find me Randy Sjafrie. If you can't spell Sjafrie, it's SJAFRIE. And then _ I'm pretty much just on there 24/7. So if you want to find me on there, but if you want to find me on Facebook, just Randy Sjafrie.
Yep.
That's pretty much where you guys can find me.
And if people want to listen to you on Mai FM,
and if you want to listen to me on Mai FM, from now until January 13th, I'll be on air from 5 till 10. Pretty much almost every day. And then from the 13th of January, which I'm super excited about, is I'll be doing the official night show. It's going to be Mai Nights with Randy from 7 p.m. till 12 p.m. So if you want to come party with me, you want to request some songs, you want some shout outs, you can find me on there.
Sweet, man. Thank you so much for coming along and just sharing your story again.
Appreciate it.
And thank you very much to everyone who's tuning in, whether you're listening or whether you're watching. Thank you so much for your time. If you've found any value or you think someone else will get value out of this, please do share it forward to them, just so that they could join and be part of our community. Until next time, be human, be now.